Ah yes, that voice. That raw, explosive, goosebump-inducing kind of voice. The kind that made you pause mid-dinner and think, how is this person not already famous? That was the Voice of America. Now it's just The Voice, a glossy talent show dipped in auto-tune, wrung out with backstories and blow-dried for ratings.
I'll turn around. I saw my mom. She passed back in October.
Remember when it was actually about, The Voice? Not the tragic montage, not the cliffhangers before every ad break, not the judges fighting harder for screen time than the singers do for a career. Back in 2011, it felt like a breath of fresh air. A music show where looks didn't matter, just talent. No glitter, no gimmicks, no download the app to vote nonsense. Just a mic and a dream. But like so many talent shows, The Voice slowly became what it once tried to replace. And this isn't just about one show losing its edge, it's about a bigger shift. Somewhere along the way, the music took a back seat and the metrics grabbed the wheel. In an era of curated feeds, viral edits, and manufactured moments, who even has time for raw, unfiltered talent anymore? The Voice of America premiered in 2011, pulling in 11.8 million viewers on NBC, a surprise hit in a genre most thought was dying. Its one mission, give great singers a shot based on nothing but their voice. It was adapted from The Voice of Holland, created by John de Mol, the same guy behind Big Brother. Apparently, the Dutch don't just know reality TV, they own it. The formula was simple: blind auditions, 4 superstar coaches, battle rounds that actually felt like battles, live shows where talent actually mattered, and the coaches, they cared. CeeLo was weird but fun. Christina brought vocal critique. Blake Shelton was, Blake Shelton. And Adam Levine wasn't yet a walking cologne ad. Back then, contestants like Javier Colon or Dia Frampton weren't memeable reality stars. They were legit musicians. Javier's time after time duet with Adam Levine became one of the most replayed clips of the season. Dia hit the iTunes charts right after the finale. Actual charts, not just trending hashtags. And the performances? Raw, gritty, memorable. The kind you watched on YouTube 15 times and sent to your mom with the message, just listen to this. It felt revolutionary. A show where someone who looked like your neighbor, or like Jordan Smith, could blow you away with nothing but a voice. His season 9 audition of Chandelier left all 4 coaches stunned before they even saw him. That's what The Voice was supposed to be. No bias, no branding, just talent. The blind auditions were electric. The coaches turned their chairs like it meant something, because it did. You didn't know what was coming, and that made every moment unpredictable. Real, fresh, human. There was even a sense of mentorship. Not just, pick me for my team because I'm famous, but pick me because I know how to help you win. You could feel the connection. When a coach turned their chair, you knew they believed in what they heard. That was the magic. Even the battle rounds were gripping. 2 singers, 1 song, and no room for error. You'd hold your breath during those duets, knowing only one voice would make it through. It was drama, but the right kind. The kind that made you shout at your TV, not roll your eyes. And there was hope. You'd root for someone and actually believe they had a shot at stardom. Cassadee Pope hit #1 on iTunes. Sawyer Fredericks landed on the Billboard 200. It wasn't just TV, it was a real shot. You ever watch a show and feel like you're watching the format perform instead of the people? Yeah, that. The cracks in the voice started showing when the spotlight subtly slid off the contestants and straight onto the coaches. Suddenly, it wasn't about who could sing, it was about who could zing. The Voice quietly rebranded itself into the Blake and Adam Comedy Hour, now with occasional background vocals.
Man, if you weren't 6'5", I'd kick your ass.
The contestants, they were just set dressing. The producers, oh, they didn't just allow it, they embraced it. Pre-taped comedy bits, goofy coach banter, more duets than an ABBA tribute night. At some point, the show started feeling less like a talent competition and more like a musical version of The Bachelor, but, with chairs that spin and egos that don't. Then came the overproduction. Every audition was now a cinematic event. Drone shots, slow-mo hugs, lens flares that would make J.J. Abrams blush. And the backstories? Oh, the backstories. Because nothing says vocal ability like a sepia-tone trauma montage.
He's just trying to do what's best for my daughter.
Complete with piano swell and a single tear on mom's cheek. You used to win because you were good. Now you win because your hamster died during Titanic and inspired you to sing Shallow. Tragedy sells, talent optional.
This one's for her.
Tell me what you want, what you really want. I'll tell you what.
And while we're talking about gimmicks, ever noticed how the show went from a lean 12-week competition to some Frankensteinian mega season? Auditions, battles, knockouts, comebacks, cross battles, playoffs, social media saves, coach steals, wildcard re-entries, live instant saves. It's like someone tried to turn singing into a multi-level marketing scheme. Recruit 5 friends to vote and you might advance to the quarterfinal comeback wildcard redemption round. But hey, more formats mean more ad breaks, right? And what did all that lead to? A parade of winners who vanished faster than a song on the iTunes Top 10. Let's test your memory. Name 5 winners of The Voice. No Googling. Go on, I'll wait. Exactly. Maybe you remember Cassidy Pope.
I'm already told.
She flirted with country pop radio for a second. Or Jordan Smith, who sang like an angel and then quietly slipped into the CCM charts. Beyond that, crickets. Remember when literally none of the winners became stars? Kind of defeats the whole purpose, doesn't it? There were singles, sure, but nobody bought them. Even the coaches stopped pretending to care. Like, wait, so after all the chair spins, emotional crescendos, and fake tears, the winner just goes home? No record deal? No breakout hit? Here's a fun little fact that aged like milk. In the early seasons, downloads on iTunes actually counted as votes. You could literally buy your favorite performance and help them win. Democracy, capitalism. Honestly, what's the difference anymore? But that's when it all got real strategic. Suddenly, cover song choice mattered more than vocal range. A decent singer doing Hallelujah could beat a powerhouse belting Tina Turner, because sad song equals more downloads, equals more votes, equals more ka-ching. And just like that, The Voice stopped being about spontaneity. It became about engineering moments, manufacturing virality, becoming the next Susan Boyle, but make it TikTok. What started as The Voice has slowly, sneakily, and tragically become the marketing strategy. But don't worry, it only gets worse from here. If The Voice was a roller coaster, this is the part where the brakes fail, the track catches fire, and the announcer calmly says, "We're experiencing some technical difficulties." While the loop collapses in glorious slow motion. The tipping point wasn't a scandal or a technical failure, it was sparkle, flash, the arrival of celebrity coaches who turned a talent show into a primetime promo reel. Around season 14, the narrative flipped. Contestants became accessories. Coaches became the main act, not to guide, but to promote. Ariana Grande, Nick Jonas, Camila Cabello, even Chance the Rapper. Each introduced with dramatic hype packages like they were about to headline Coachella. Some barely pretended to care. The energy wasn't, "let me help you win," it was, "make sure the lighting's good for my cutaway." As one former contestant put it felt like I was in someone else's promo tour, which honestly could have been the show's new tagline. Or better yet, the promo tour featuring background vocals. Take season 21. One coach managed to mention their new single in 4 episodes, complete with cutaways to music videos and perfectly timed, "don't forget to stream it" winks. Yes, we are talking about John Legend. Meanwhile, contestants were lucky to get a 45-second montage with the audio levels turned down so we could hear the coach narrating over their performance. The Voice stopped being a stage for new talent. It became a celebrity vanity project, with occasional karaoke intermissions. Then came the scripting. Laughter, gasps, and tears, all perfectly timed. Reactions framed in Oscar-worthy lighting. Dialogue that felt rehearsed.
Honey right there.
Wow. Wow. Thank you.
A former contestant opened up in a podcast. They had me retell my backstory 3 times, but with more emotion. The producer literally said, "Think about your dead pet or something." So yeah, I cried, thinking about my hamster. Rest in peace, Cheddar. Producers pushed for the perfect tear. Music swelled on cue. Cameras moved in. Authenticity was edited in post. Even the contestants' words felt recycled. Music is my life. This means everything. I've been through so much. You've heard it all. So had they. And let's not forget the chairs. Remember when a chair turn gave you goosebumps? Now it takes decent vocals, a dead relative, and bonus points if your dog howled along in a thunderstorm. The Voice stopped being about voice. It became a package, pre-written, pre-sold, pre-processed. It used to be about raw talent, real moments, and jaw-dropping performances. Now, it's a slick, overproduced commercial for the coaches' careers, with a side of contestant B-roll. So how did the audience respond? They dipped, not dramatically, more like ghosting a friend you've outgrown. The ratings slid, the buzz died, the memes took over, And once the memes move in, the magic moves out. Between season 1 and season 24, viewership dropped from 13.5 million to under 4 million. The show that once gave us chill-inducing vocals now gives us TikToks titled Top 10 Fakest Moments on The Voice. And they get millions of views, because takedowns go viral, and this show practically wrote its own. The fandom started turning on the very formula they once loved. They began questioning the sincerity of every moment. Was that 4-chair turn genuine or staged? Did the coach actually love that performance, or were they told to push the button for pacing? Why do they all sing the same 3 Adele songs week after week, like there's a licensing deal no one talks about? Even the staging became a game of musical lighting. Blue for sad, fire for rock, spotlight for drama. You could build a drinking game around it. Just don't try to survive to the second ad break. And then came the memes. Blake pressing the button because a producer whispered, "This one cries on cue." Fake sobbing compilations, auto-tune fail edits, captioned with peak artistry. People stopped watching to feel something. They started watching to catch the con. It's no longer about connecting. It's about dissecting. In an era of TikTok breakdowns and YouTube commentary, the audience isn't passive anymore. They're not fans. They're forensic analysts with a pause button. The real tragedy, there are still amazing singers on that stage, but we don't hear about them. We hear about which coach is returning next season, or who had the most dramatic fake rivalry that week. The contestants are now side characters in a show that was meant to spotlight them. It's like watching a cooking show where the food is blurred out and we zoom in on Gordon Ramsay's eyebrows. The talent's still there. It's just edited out of focus. And what about after the finale? Gone are the dreams of fame and record deals. Most winners release one underpromoted single, disappear into the void, and resurface 3 years later on a cruise ship brochure or in a local festival lineup opening for a magician. No label push, no world tour, no viral moment that lasts beyond the confetti drop. The Voice promised to launch careers, but it ended up handing out short-term validation coupons. So can The Voice be saved? Maybe. But it would need a full-blown musical exorcism. Strip it back, kill the fake drama, ditch the rotating celeb carousel, and for the love of raw talent, let the singers sing. Bring back the thrill of discovery, not the illusion of it. Imagine a reboot where there are no backstories, no sob packages, no AI-generated lighting schemes, just 4 chairs, 4 coaches, and 1 microphone. It sounds risky, it sounds old school, but it also sounds right, because at its best, The Voice reminded us that talent can come from anywhere, that someone working in a grocery store might just have the voice to stop time, that a voice, unpolished, unfiltered, and powerful, could shake an entire room. It reminded us that we didn't need a viral hook or a tragic angle to care. We just needed the music. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to bring that back. Until then, we'll be over here, watching season 1 clips on YouTube and pretending the rest never happened. Thanks for watching. And remember, just because someone turns a chair doesn't mean it's still worth listening. If you enjoyed this deep dive into manufactured drama and lost potential, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We've got more where this came from, more rants, more nostalgia, and definitely more roasting of formerly beloved institutions. Subscribe or risk getting your next life lesson from a sob package on a talent show.